All right, so now we're going to read the Bible to confirm what the Apocryphon of John says. Go ahead, read it.
Okay. And Jehovah God proceeded to form the man out of dust from the ground, and to blow into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man came to be a living soul. Further, Jehovah God planted a garden in Eden toward the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Thus Jehovah God made to grow out of the ground every tree desirable to one's sight and good for food, and also the tree of life in the middle of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and bad.
Right, the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. And now, remember, we read about that in the Apocryphon of John. Now read that next section there.
Okay. And Jehovah God also laid this command upon the man: from every tree of the garden you may eat to satisfaction, but as for the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, you must not eat from it, for in the day you eat from it, you will positively die.
Right. Remember, we read about that in the Apocryphon of John. Let's go on to the next section.
He took one of his ribs and then closed up the flesh over its place. And Jehovah God proceeded to build the rib that he had taken from the man into a woman, and to bring her to the man.
All right, very good. And now the next section there.
Hence Jehovah God had a deep sleep fall upon the man, and while he was sleeping, now the serpent proved to be the most cautious of all the wild beasts of the field that Jehovah God had made. So it began to say to the woman, "Is it really so that God said you must not eat from every tree of the garden?" At this, the woman said to the serpent, "Of the fruit of the trees of the garden we may eat, but as for eating of the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, God has said, you must not eat from it. No, you must not touch it, that you do not die." At this, the serpent said to the woman, "You positively will not die, for God knows that in the very day of your eating from it, your eyes are bound to be opened, and you are bound to be like God, knowing good and bad." Consequently, the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was something to be longed for to the eyes. Yes, the tree was desirable to look upon, so she began talking of its fruit, and eating it. Afterward, she gave some also to her husband, when with
Right.
her, and he began eating it. Then the eyes both of them became opened, and they began to realize that they were naked. Hence they sewed fig leaves together and made loin coverings for themselves.
All right, the demiurge regrets what he created and brings on the flood involving Noah. Read that section
And
right
Jehovah felt regrets that he had made men in the earth, and he felt hurt at his heart. So Jehovah said, I am going to wipe men whom I have created off the surface of the ground, from man to domestic animal, to moving animal, and to flying creature of the heavens, because I do regret that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of Jehovah.
Okay, the demiurge says that he is jealous, as confirmed in the Apocryphon of John. Go ahead.
For you must not prostrate yourself to another god, because Jehovah, whose name is jealous, he is a jealous God.
All right, we're going to wrap up this Bible reading. We're out here in the garden, out in the yard. Finish up that last part. He declares there is no God but him, the demiurge.
I am Jehovah, and there is no one else with the exception of me. There is no God.